Oh man, we are in November already, and we inching closer and closer to probably. I think for me, it's probably going to be the most exciting fight to close out the year in a David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade. And like I told you guys before, it's not that I think David Benavidez is by no means the best or anything like that, but I do believe, for me, my opinion, his style is definitely the most fun to watch for me, and it's intriguing as the competition gets better. And you have to say, hey, Demetrius Andrade is probably going to be the best fighter on David Benavidez's resume moving forward. It's intriguing to see how that style could potentially prevail over a Demetrius Andrade. Oh, I can't wait to see how this shit unfold. But David Benavidez said something that's got me a little worried, and you got to be careful. We got to talk about it in this video. What up, YouTube? Big T, Heavy Bat Boxing TV, man. Get your big goofy ass in here and hit the bag. Hit that like button for your boy. That helps the channel. I appreciate that love. Shout out my gang, man, my bag hitters. Y'all already know the count. Now, in a recent interview, when asked about the power of a Demetrius Andrade, 35-year-old Demetrius Andrade, David Benavidez basically said, man, I ain't worried about his power. Out of 10, I'll rate him a 5. And now I know Demetrius Andrade is coming up. We didn't really get to see that power translate at 68 in his very first and only 68 fight versus Damon Nicholson back in January on the Tank Davis Hector Garcia card. I didn't think Demetrius Andrade looked that great. And I recently did a video explaining to you guys that Demetrius Andrade feels like he could have used another fight at 68 before he went in with whom he believes is the best 168 pounder in the world. And I gotta admit, I agree with him. But I think it's different, right? Because the knock on David Benavidez from a lot of you, including myself, it's the footwork. I do believe he has horrible footwork. And I think Demetrius Andrade has great footwork, but also in an extremely awkward style and technique. And with that footwork of Demetrius Andrade, the way he uses it, and sometimes the way he kind of contorts his body, it leaves weird angles, right? And he could potentially catch David Benavidez kind of rebounding and resetting his feet and land something significant. And he does have the kind of pop that I think, because styles make fights, could be very dangerous in this fight versus a David Benavidez who just doesn't have the best footwork in the world and can get those feet tangled up, left out of position, and catching some shots that really do some damage. All right, so I think after this fight, he probably will be rating Demetrius Andrade power a little bit higher than a 5. Now, I'm going on record saying, listen, I do believe David Benavidez wins this fight and potentially stops Demetrius Andrade. But I also believe Demetrius Andrade has everything in the arsenal to hurt or knock down or drop David Benavidez. And that's why I'm riding so high on this fight. That's why I think this is going to be a really, really fun fight to watch. I think the possibilities of this fight are endless. I truly can't get a pulse or a read on what is going to transpire in this fight. I think it just depends on what kind of Demetrius Andrade shows up. I think it's the consensus that we all know what kind of David Benavidez we're going to get. I just don't think it's in his motor skill, his brain or DNA to come in and fight any other kind of fight than what he's been fighting his entire career. But on the other hand, Demetrius Andrade, I do believe, is extremely versatile and can bring many different things in his fight. Listen, I'm not going to front. I do believe Demetrius Andrade has a big bag. And because he hasn't been in there with the elite to prove that, we've yet to see it. And I think it's also a consensus that David Benavidez is most definitely one of the best 168 pounders in the world. This is a fight that really is going to help define both of these guys. They both haven't been able to secure the really, really big fights, the career defining fights. And I think this is that for both of them. All right. They need each other at this point. This right here is basically for everything moving forward. And I think, of course, they both going to come in putting their best foot forward. I just think it's just going to be an extremely interesting, intriguing, and fun fight to watch. I think closing out the year and everything else with Showtime, of course, with that being dismantled now, boxing getting out of Showtime or Showtime putting boxing out, this fight right here, I think is going to open up a lot of eyes to both of these fighters. And for me, I think this could potentially be my favorite fight of this year. Now, I'm talking about, you think about the Bud, because I thought it easily would be Bud and Spence. You think about Tank and Ryan and all of these fights, man. I think we probably going to get the kind of war that we wanted to get with Tank even with Tank and Ryan and Earl and Spence. I think we're going to get that kind of war in this fight with Demetrius, Andrade, and David Benavidez. I urge everybody who rock with the channel to pay attention to this one. All right, man, that's all I got for y'all on this one, man. Demetrius, Andrade, David Benavidez, Demetrius, Andrade. Make sure you pay attention to this one. I just don't think you can call this one right now. It's so early as far as how it's going to play out. I do believe David Benavidez is going to win, but man, this one right here, this one might end up being crazy. All right, man, that's all I got for y'all on this one, man. Big T heavy bag. Yo, shout out everybody who's copped some merch too. We up to 21 orders, bro. 21 orders, man. Y'all rock with your boy like that, man. Got you. And then I ain't seen nobody hopping. Listen, if you cop some merch, make sure you do the 5 to 10 second video shouting out the channel with your shirt on or your hat on or your coffee mug. Get with me on my DMs at Heavy Bag Boxing TV on Instagram. I haven't had anybody enter the contest yet. All right, so we got 21 orders. I'm not sure if you received your orders or not yet. If you're having an issue with all of that, make sure you get with me. Same DMs on Instagram. But shit, I got $150 out there. $150 out there if you want it, man. Jump in my DMs, man. And I promise you, even if it's just one person, you'll win by default. All right? That's all I got for y'all on this one, man. If you want to get some merch, you can check it out right here. Big T.O. Heavy Bag. You know who I got with me, man. Roger. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.